Hello and welcome. Super excited about this video, guys. Today we are going to be making a hanging rack using square tubing and round tubing. And in doing that, we're going to discuss the proper ways to weld square tubing. So let's dive right in. For today's video, I'm going to be using YesWelder's MP200 Pro multifunction machine on the TIG setting. Like I said, we've got 1.5" square tubing. And then once this is all welded up, we're going to add the round tubing as the bar. We're going to go over proper procedures to weld square tubing, round tubing, and square to round. For this, we're going to need some welding magnets from YesWelder, as well as clamps from YesWelder. So as you can see right now, I've already prepped the materials. They're cut. The edges are beveled. This isn't necessarily super thick square tubing. However, it's not thin walled. So to ensure I get proper penetration on my welds, I did bevel the edges just a little bit. Next, we're going to remove the mill scale, which when you're welding mild steel is critical when you're TIG welding. And then we're going to tack them up, and we're going to talk about the proper order of operations. It is important which order you tack things when you're doing tubing, as to keep it from moving and shifting. And then we're going to weld it again in the proper order to keep it nice and square.
Okay, so we're going to be starting with this corner here first. So we're going to get our welding magnet that's at 90 degrees and get this set up how we like it. There we go. Oh, not quite. There we go. Okay, so now when we're welding and we're adding heat to this, even when we're tacking, wherever we're adding heat, the opposite is going to want to pull out. So if we tack here first, this is going to want to open up, right? If we tack here first, it's called locking it in. We're going to want to tack here, because then this inside corner is going to want to open and pull out, but the magnet is going to keep it from doing that. So, order of operations in tacking, we have something securing our weld joint. We're going to start tacking on the opposite side. Now, second, are we going to tack on this surface, or are we going to tack on this surface? Now, here's what we're talking about when we say wrapping our corners. Proper welding on tubing, the end of the weld, the corner is wrapped. So we're going to start our weld here. We're going to go all the way down the joint, go around the corner, and stop somewhere, you know, maybe 1/8 of an inch down this next weld surface. Why? Because then when we start our next weld, we're starting not having to go around a corner, or we're not leaving a start and a stop kind of right here. A lot of times starts and stops are where cracks and you know, inconsistencies can happen, weakening a weld. So we don't want that on a corner. If that is going to happen at a start and stop, we want it on a surface. So like on here, when we wrap this corner from this inside weld, we're going to come around and stop right here, right? So that's called wrapping a corner, because we're going to stop after the corner has been wrapped. Now, we have to think about how far we're going to wrap it and where we want, because wherever we end that wrap is where we want our tack, right? So like I said, we're going to tack here first. That way when we weld this and we wrap our corner, we're going to end at that tack. When we end up doing the inside here, we're going to tack right about here. That way when we come around and wrap our corner, we end on that tack. So that tack serves as a stopping point, a visual aid. So it not only holds it together while we're welding, it also serves as a visual aid when we wrap our corner of where to stop. So let's start tacking. All right, so we're going to switch over to TIG welding here on the MP200 Pro. We are not welding stainless, we're welding steel. So we're going to set that up. We are using a 3/32 tungsten. Our material thickness is 1/8, which is 125 thousandths. But this machine does run all the way down and impressively thick as well. I do like a 2T trigger. I do like a high frequency start. I'm not going to run pulse, so I'm going to turn these amps up to 125, and we're going to start tacking. All right, so we got our first tack here. we want our another tack here on the backside to really make sure this is strong before we weld it. But again, we're gonna wrap the corners, right? So this weld is gonna go start here, down the outside seam, wrap around here to here. So that's where we're gonna put the next tack. All right, so now we have those two tacks in. We're gonna go back to the original side, right? Because one weld now is gonna come up this inside and around onto the top. We're gonna wrap our corner onto the top. So now we're gonna put this tack here on top. And lastly, this weld is gonna start here and come in. So we're now gonna remove the magnet and put our last tack here on the inside, so when the weld comes up and wraps in, we can stop right there on that tack, and that's a starting point to come around and wrap to this one. Okay, so here we have our piece totally tacked up, and now we need to think about where we're gonna start our welds, right? We can start either on the inside here, on the outside here. I don't like starting on surfaces like sides, because again, it's gonna put that side torsional flex into it that I want to avoid. I'm gonna start, because this piece is cold right now, that's how I'm handling it with bare hands, I'm gonna start here on this outside because it's an edge. Edge melts way faster than, there's a lot of metal in here, and this is gonna act like a heat sink, these chunky pieces in here. So this, as I work and the workpiece heats up, this is gonna be able to accept that heat way better than this right here, where all this heat's coming on this like knife's razor edge, and this is gonna melt way faster. So as this piece is cold, I'm gonna start here. So we're gonna start here on this tack, turn, wrap our corner. Then I'm gonna start here on the inside, come down, wrap our corner, hit the outsides, and then this piece is welded. By tacking in the correct order and wrapping the corners, I just get this nice continuous weld all the way around where no stop or start is going to be on a corner.
Alright, so now we understand the basics of choosing how to tack tubing and then wrapping your corners. Now we still have this other piece to weld onto this piece right here. But using the magnet now doesn't work because this distance right here is too short for the magnet to sit in and then have this fit up well, right? That's 2, the magnet's bigger than that. So this is where the clamp comes in. Okay, so since I have to clamp this, it has to stay on the table while I tack it, which means I won't be able to tack on the bottom side necessarily. And it's gonna be difficult to tack on this end here. So that's why I'm gonna clamp this slightly off the table, so I still have access to this tack on the outside, and it's a little bit easier than trying to finagle it while it's totally on a table and trying to get the correct angle. So we're gonna clamp it off the table. And visually make sure that this all looks good in here. So that's the order of operations: square tube tacking, square tube welding. We've got our square tube all welded up, and now we're gonna work on the hanging bar. This is round tubing. Round tubing, it's similar, but not quite as stringent on order of operations, that kind of stuff. So like I said, 1.5" square tubing. We're going 1.25" round tubing. So if you're familiar with square tubing, the sides on some of it aren't exactly 90 degrees. They're kind of rounded off. So I went 1.25" on the round bar. So between that little curve, natural curve on this corner of the square tubing and the bevel that I put on the round bar, it creates like a nice little groove for the weld to fall into without having to sit there and do extra grinding on the square tubing. So going down 1/4 inch from the square to the round kind of makes that match up real nicely, and we'll show you that right now. And as you can see, we've got the YesWelder magnet making sure we've got a 90-degree angle, and the clamp making sure nothing moves while we're welding. With square tubing, there's an order of operations on where to tack. With round tubing, not really as much, because it's just kind of all the same. It's just one circle. We do want to tack it in at least 4 places, north, south, east, and west, to make sure it does stay on its center. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use those tacks as our guides to welding it. So we're going to weld 1/4 of it, from tack to tack, and then we're going to weld 1/4 of it opposite tack to tack, 1/4 of it opposite tack to tack, and then tack to tack, and then we're done. So I'm going to fire up the MP200 Pro, and we're going to do just that. So there you have it, folks. A couple tips and tricks to make your square tube and round tube welding already that much better. For more information on the products you've seen in this video and the MP200 Pro, please visit YesWelder.com. And until next time, enjoy welding with YesWelder.